Chairman, I am quite pleased this morning to support the nomination of Tracy Stone-Manning, and I hope that this committee will advance her nomination quickly. I frankly can't say how refreshing it is to have a BLM nominee who actually has experience in tribal issues, in land conservation, in water settlements, in wildlife conservation, in all of the things that we wrestle with in Western states each and every day. Westerners know that the only way to solve natural resource challenges is to work with people from all walks of life. And Tracy has done that throughout her career. She has worked with ranchers and wilderness advocates, with hunters and mountain bikers and trade unionists and tribal leaders. And she knows how to work across the aisle to find creative solutions. The BLM has been without a confirmed director, for good reason in some cases, for almost 4.5 years. That should not continue one day longer. I hope we can confirm Tracy Stone-Manning for BLM director very soon so that she can get to work. And with that, I have a couple of questions for you, Ms. Stone-Manning. New Mexico has two relatively new national monuments, BLM monuments, the Rio Grande del Norte and the Oregon Mountains Desert Peaks, established in 2013 and 2015. However, neither monument has ever had a monument management plan to guide on-the-ground management. A planning process would allow local residents, tribal leaders, all sorts of public land users in those areas and business owners to weigh in on how those areas should best be managed to protect their resources and the activities that occur there. If confirmed, will you make sure that the BLM works with the communities around these monuments to finally complete those plans?
Senator, yes, I will. I agree wholeheartedly that the very best approach is to bring all the stakeholders together to come up with the best plan.
The BLM last week, in fact, began the process to finalize the route for the SunZia transmission project, which is a project that is critical to fully developing New Mexico's carbon-free energy resources. Without this line, wind and solar energy generated in New Mexico, particularly wind, has no way to be moved to larger energy markets to our west. The two lines will carry over 3 gigawatts of carbon-free electricity and create more than 6,000 construction jobs. I'm incredibly pleased to see SunZia moving to this next part in the process, and I would just ask, if confirmed, will you commit to working with me to ensure that this process stays on track and meets its schedule?
Senator, I'd be honored to do so.
Ms. Baker, according to a 2018 study by the National Renewable Energy Laboratory, tribal lands actually have the capacity to provide about 10% of the nation's total energy, almost 7% of our renewable energy capacity as well. Despite existing DOE programs, we've seen very little private capital flow to tribal renewable energy projects. And to date, the Tribal Energy Loan Guarantee Program, for example, has not made a single loan, and the Tribal Energy Resource Agreements from the Energy Policy Act of 2005 have yet to be implemented. If confirmed, would you commit to working to address the challenges that are contributing to the underinvestment of private capital in renewable energy projects that directly benefit sovereign tribes?
Thank you so much for the question, Senator Heinrich. I spent several years serving as a project finance lawyer and really learned the importance of access to capital across so many different landscapes. I've also worked closely with indigenous communities as a scholar, first in Mexico and later in Hawaii. And I know that these communities face a persistent lack of investment. If confirmed, I would work hard and closely with Wahala Johns, who is currently the director of the Office of Indian Energy, as well as Jigger Shaw, who's the director of the Loan Programs Office, to really look into the barriers that indigenous communities currently face in accessing DOE and federal funds, as well as private investment opportunities. And so I'd also be delighted to work with your office to look at solutions to this persistent problem.
Thank you, Ms. Baker. And I would encourage you to call on us for help to where there are needs to change authorizations, to change legal language, so that we can finally accomplish some of the goals that we've set for a number of years now. Please count us in, because there is a dramatic underinvestment in these communities. Thank you.
Thank you.